Both cards have sold 9 copies. So we will see how close they fall in relation to each other on Wednesday morning. My money right now is on King Saladin eclipsing the 2.1, 2.2 mark, and hopefully the Gibson gets over 2, but we will see. Welcome to Tuesday evening in Project 2020. My name is Chris, otherwise known on Twitter and Instagram as @CRT_sportscards. And you want to visit my website, crtsportscards.com, for everything related to Project 2020. But here it is, Tuesday. Tuesday is always kind of the weirdest day of the week in Project 2020. We have seen 4 cards released of the 10, and we've seen 0 print runs. We do know where the pre-orders stood, and those numbers were very low on the Monday cards. And on Tuesday, we have a card that is going to potentially rock the boat even more and potentially finish under 1,800. And this is the perfect storm. Some would say in a good way, some would say in a bad way. But first up today in Project 2020, and we are now only 2 cards away from number 300. Tomorrow we find out who is going to be bestowed the honor of number 300 in Project 2020. Coming in at card 297 is this Frank Thomas by Joshua Vides. And this Frank Thomas is a card that plays very, very well to the strengths of Joshua Vides. And I really like this card overall. I think it fits his style very well. But it's because the card has a lighter background. The lighter backgrounds play to Joshua Vides' strengths, whereas a darker background, his line and dot work get lost. And this is why I will always say I really wish his cards were black and white with the strong line and dot work, because that would be one of, if not the best set in Project 2020. But when we look at the history of Vides and Frank Thomas, why do I say this card could finish under 1,800? Frank Thomas's most recent release was that grotesque 100802. Before that, we had Chang, and then the Beckett magazine Old Man Allen. On Vides, we've gone from the Ted Williams at 2150 to Jeter at 3561, and then that Ichiro. And the Ichiro coming into just 2,046, considering the fan base of Ichiro in the set, is why I say this card right now, before even looking at the pre-order totals for this card at 8 o'clock, could finish well below 1,800. We will see if the fans and the people who are out there hunting a print run will keep this card above. But when you look at Frank Thomas by Grotesque 1802 and Ichiro just over 2,000, one of the better selling players in the set, there is no reason why this card should sell over 2,000 and why this card right now should fall under 1,800. And the second card on this Tuesday release day, and my favorite card of the day, is this magnificent Sandy Koufax by Mr. Cartoon. This cartoon card follows up his most recent card, which I thought was just amazing, his Ichiro. But the reason why I like this card so much is because it's the polar opposite of a card in my collection, which I wish was just a little better. But let's take a quick look back at Cartoon and also Sandy Koufax. And not to be forgotten this time, I did not forget the Sandy Koufax by Gregory Siff like I did last week. But then before that, we had the yellow Blake Jameson, and then the grotesque version on Cartoon. There is that Ichiro, the Willie Mays, which is just fantastic, and then Frank Thomas. So in my books, when it comes to Cartoon, he has had 3 amazing releases back to back to back. Mays, Ichiro, and now this Koufax. And this Koufax wins for me, not because it's a horizontal card with some great lettering, but the portrait of Koufax looks just like Koufax, and it is a fantastic drawing on the bottom left of the card. When you look at like cartoons, Jackie Robinson, which may be Bo Jackson, I thought that one could have been better, and I say that as somebody who cannot draw, but the portrait of Jackie Robinson was not really there. He captures it with Sandy Koufax here exceptionally well, and if you're a Koufax fan or you're a Cartoon fan, you are going to really, really enjoy having this card in your collection. I thought it was very well done, and even an upgraded version to his original kind of horizontal card, which was the Mark McGwire very early on in Project 2020. And now tuning into the market at 8 o'clock on eBay, we, the fans of Project 2020, have made the Mr. Cartoon Sandy Koufax the card of the day. because it has sold 13 copies since it got launched this morning around 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So about 10 hours of history of sales so far. And then on that Frank Thomas Joshua Vides, just 5 copies sold. So when you go back to the beginning of the show, when I talked about a card falling under 1,800, only having 5 sales after the first day is sort of an indication this card is going to be very, very low printed. And then when you correlate it with the fact yesterday's releases, they both sold 9 copies. At 8 o'clock tonight, that Natural by Bob Gibson has sold 0 copies on eBay. That card only sits at 9. So that was another card I theorized could fall under 2,000, under 1,900. And then on the King Saladin Tony Gwynn, that card is sold 3 copies on eBay. So going into the print run announcement tomorrow morning, it is sold just 12 copies on eBay. So we're looking potentially at very low print run start the week and then another low print run day the following day. So we will see what that means for the set for this week. But it looks like right now, out of the gates, we're going to have some very, very low print runs. With that, have a fantastic Tuesday evening, and I'll see you back tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening for episode number 102 of the Project 2020 Nightly News.